Hello, everyone. Welcome to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host for today, Tabitha Moretto. Our guest today is Gerald Quigley, pharmacist and master herbalist based in Melbourne. He is joining us once again to talk about the importance of our brain health in the lead up to Brain Awareness Week 2018. Also, we're going to talk about an amazing herb that is said to help with brain health. Without further ado, welcome back to the show, Gerald. It's very nice to have you here again.
Thank you, Tabitha, and a very important topic today, isn't it? Because we worry about our heart health, and we worry about our joints, and we worry about our liver if we have a bit too much wine, but no one ever really worries about their brain. And yet it's there working so incredibly hard, day in, day out, overnight, works very hard overnight, and we just expect that this amazing organ will never need much support at all. It will just go on regardless, but it's not quite as easy as that. So look, there are a number of issues of concern here, Tabitha, and probably the main one is that Australians are now living to an older age, and they want to live as well as they possibly can. So they want to be maximising their physical health, their emotional and mental health. And at last, we can now say, we've got some tools that we can help you with your brain health. And those tools are very, very important. And some of them are very simple. But we know now that over time, we can increase the ability of our brain as we age to regain functions that perhaps we weren't even able to think about when we were younger. We used to think once upon a time that when we got to about 25, our brain was working at maximum capacity. Now, there's a new phrase. It's called neuroplasticity. And it means that we can actually teach parts of our brain that weren't functioning as well years ago to almost light up and come alive and do things for us that we probably did never think we could do before. And neuroplasticity essentially means that we need to be challenging our brain by staying socially connected. And if you're socially connected, you will live to a ripe old age because you're exercising your brain with your friends all the time. You can learn a language. You can learn a musical instrument. You could join a choir. Anything that requires you to learn and reproduce and practice, and that challenges you to learn more, that is the way that we keep our brain in as good a shape as we possibly can. The other dampener on brain health is this awful word stress. And we all live with stress, and each person, each adult and child for that matter, I couldn't even spell stress as a child. Now I have child patients who tell me that they're stressed in my clinical work. We have to learn that stress can have a negative impact on our health, particularly our brain health. And it's because we're caught up in so many of the issues in our social network these days, not our real social network, not our real friends, just what other people are doing and often what they expect of us. And the sooner we recognise that health can be draining, I saw a survey the other day, 42% of women feel rushed or pressed for time, mainly due to trying to balance some work and home responsibilities. And really, it's family demands and work demands. And when you consider so many women especially use a lot of their time just for generally caring for the family, it's no wonder they're tired and they're stressed. Men don't escape either, Tabitha. Men have demands. They increasing demands, demand to be better at what you do than ever before because of the perceived fear of competition. Someone might do my job better than I can. Oh dear, means I've got to spend more time at work, even though we know that spending more time at work doesn't necessarily alleviate any stress at all. There's a number of those issues, but if I could just summarise a few of the lifestyle things. We've got to be social, join a club, go and meet people, challenge yourself to meet someone new every day and remember their name. Try and learn something new. If you've never learned to play cards, go and learn to play cards. Go and play bridge or solo. because it is wonderful for your brain. Exercise, we underestimate exercise so much, and yet it's free. You can walk around the block, you can go out and smell the roses, you can drive to the beach and walk along with your feet in the water. It doesn't cost anything, and yet we underestimate the value of that. So exercising regularly, the experts have even worked out it's only got to be half an hour a day. Half an hour of a day will make a real difference. We've talked stress, and we need to just understand what stress does to us, and that probably brings us to nutritional support, herbal support. There's been lots of work done over the years on a number of different herbal options, but now researchers are they're getting very serious, and they're testing particular herbs for what they can do for retention, for concentration, and actually to help reduce the levels of stress. So it almost is the phrase they tend to use, Tabitha, is neuroprotective. The herb that a lot of the research is done, particularly at the Swinburne University of Technology, and there's a centre there of human psychopharmacology, which is a word that 20 years ago we had no idea would ever exist. And the researchers there have shown that there's a very old plant-based remedy called Bacopa monnieri. Now, it's been around and used in Ayurvedic medicine, that's Indian medicine and Chinese medicine for years and years and years. And I don't think we ever realised the potential that concentrated extracts of this particular herb might be able to do to the modern brain, to defend it against oxidative stress through its neuroprotective and antioxidant effects. And we're talking here about supporting cognitive function. To help our brain, none of us are going to be Einstein if we expect that we can take a herb like Bacopa monnieri. There's a particular extract that's been used in the research, very long name, it's called a CDRI-08. That's an extract of Bacopa because there's lots of different types of Bacopa. There's lots of different types of mini herbs. But we're learning now that particular extracts have particular strengths and ranges of what we call actives. These are the active ingredients. Garlic, for instance, has about 80 different active ingredients, but some species of garlic have more than others. And it's the same with Bacopa monnieri. The actives here have been proven by within the Centre of Human Psychopharmacology to make a difference in improving cognitive function. This is exciting stuff because it just means that as Australians and across the world, as we age, we now can look at our brain age at 80 as perhaps our brain age at 55. We will be able to more definitively explain these things as the research goes on. But at this stage, published papers clearly show there are benefits. How exciting is that?
Yes, it's very exciting indeed, especially there's a herb out there that can help with cognitive function as well as other parts of our brain health.
Well, but remember, we have to do our bit. The herb will help, but we have to make sure that we have sufficient intake of important things like omega-3 fatty acids. We have to use all the brightly coloured fruits and vegetables, the ones that are in season, because that makes a difference to the polyphenol content of our brain. We have to do our bit to exercise our brain. It's the same way we exercise the dog, and the same way we do all sorts of things about exercise, we have to exercise our brain as well. So nutritionally and with some herbal backup support, we're maximising our potential as we age.
That's excellent to hear. Can you tell us, Gerald, why is this relevant to other health professionals?
Well, so often, Tabitha, we find that people can sometimes be given diagnoses of cognitive decline, and it's very worrying. I see people in my clinic that if they forget where they've put the car keys, they think they're on a downward spiral. The pressure to be perfect at all times as we age is on us. Many people are working with grandchildren. That's the free babysitting, and they want to be as active mentally and socially as they possibly can. And they worry when they can't keep track of what's going on. So that little parcel of things I've mentioned very important to consider if we're trying, as I said before, to maximise the potential of our brains, keep us involved, keep us occupied, keep us engaged, and the wonderful thing is it maintains our quality of life. You can't stick a thermometer under your tongue and measure a person's quality of life. It embraces everything we do, but fundamental to that is to have efficient memory, efficient cognitive function, and just to be able to remember things, not instant recall as if we're studying for exams, but just to logically remember things that are locked away in our brain that we can bring back when needed. It's a very comforting thing to be able to do as we age.
Yes, that's true. I agree with you. In my case, I'm in my 20s, but there are times where I'm very forgetful. Just like what you mentioned earlier, I think to myself, am I losing my mind? Is there something wrong with me? Or did I put my key? So I think about all these kinds of things.
It's fascinating, isn't it? And as someone as young as you, that just goes to show the pressure to be perfect is on you all the time. Now, there's no age restriction for a herb like Bacopa monnieri. In fact, there's been some work done with students because they need to remember things. The pressure to be high up the scale from an education perspective is there constantly, particularly as you get into your senior years at school. This can be reassuring when we know that we do have an option, and there'll be a lot more work done on this. And look, we've got to remember, and sometimes we're in an age, Tabitha, where we think there's a pill for every ill. Problem A can be solved by pill B, problem C can be proven by pill D, and there's nothing further from the truth. We have to embrace many of those lifestyle improvements as possible. We have to get our sleep quality right. The greatest brain restorative known to man is the ability to get restful sleep. But I wonder how many people across the world can actually say, we go to bed tired and we wake up completely refreshed. Certainly in Western society, where big screens dominate lounge rooms and bedrooms, I would say that would be the minority of people. And that's the only way your brain can recuperate from the pressures we put on it across the day.
Excellent. I would love to talk to you more, Gerald, but we're running out of time. But before we go, what is your main takeaway message to all of our listeners out there?
I think the main takeaway message is to be reassured that your brain will always reach potential if you give it the best opportunities. So good sleep, good brain exercises by staying social and learning new things and exercising. Keep your stress under control. Eat the right foods in season. Eat fish as the best source of omega-3s. And consider, if necessary, the herbal support that we now know is the clinical evidence behind it of Bacopa monnieri.
Excellent. And last, for those who want to contact you, how can they do that?
Best is through my website, Tabitha, which is www. and my full name, geraldquigley.com. And there's a little Ask tab there, and those emails come through to me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Gerald, for coming back on the show. It was very nice having you again.
Thank you, Tabitha. All the best to you.
And that was Gerald Quigley. We've just been talking about the importance of brain health and how can we take care of it. If you like this interview, transcripts and archives are available at www.hpr.fm. We're on all social media platforms, so don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Show us some love by subscribing to our HPR YouTube channel. We're also available for download on SoundCloud and iTunes. I'm Tabitha Moretto, and you're listening to Health Professional Radio.